Hey guys, doing another couple quick videos tonight. I have a really cool idea on how to grow your business. Just if you don't know much about me yet, if you haven't seen any of my videos, I own and operate a candy company that I started very, very small. Initially, quite a few years back, I started out of my house and started very, very small, grew it into a very successful business, selling online. We are on Amazon, Etsy. We started on eBay. We have our company site, and we have several other platforms that we sell on, and we've actually shipped to, I think it's about 15 countries so far, as well as all over the U.S. But I have a really cool video. When you operate a business, when you start one online, the marketing strategy is much different than a marketing strategy that you want to advertise for a brick and mortar type of operation. We utilize a lot of social media. We use a ton of social media. I'm a big believer in using social media. Literally every single day, I'm on social media probably about an hour to 2 hours doing additional marketing and promoting and getting the word out about our company and our business and our products. So a really cool idea that I looked into and I kind of did a little experiment with. I experimented with this probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Just to really quick see if I would get a response and see if I get some additional followers. So here's what I did. Of course, everyone knows Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, Instagram, etc., etc. We are on all of those. What I did end up doing is I actually went to Pinterest, and I started to kind of think outside the box on how to attract more pinners and more people to actually come to our Pinterest boards that we've got up that are basically promoting a lot of our candies and different stuff that we do. So I started to think to myself, I kind of know the demographic of our customer. Actually, I know it very well. We have most of our customers are women who buy a lot of the sweets and the treats and stuff that we have. They send them a lot of times for gifts to other people, and they buy stuff for themselves. So I started to brainstorm and come up with some ideas of what people would actually be, what women specifically would be interested in as far as on Pinterest. What type of boards and what type of pins are they mostly interested in? So what I did is I created several boards with a couple hundred pins each. One of them was fashion, one of them was jewelry, a handful of other pins that are kind of products and services related to the demographic who buys our candy. So the thought process was, if I can create a board and I can get a lot of pins that would attract women in that age group and that demographic of the ones that we know for sure who buy from us, that traffic will actually end up being more recognizable, give us more exposure for our candy, for what we really do, by creating multiple boards with the interests of those demographics. I hope that makes sense to you. I'll kind of break it down and recap it again real quick. So the idea was this, that if we've got a section, we've got a segment, a demographic of women who really buy our products, or we know the age group, we know basically a lot about what they do, what they buy. If you can create additional boards with pins that would be of interest to those women, you would get them to come to your Pinterest page, and then from there they would see the multiple boards and start seeing candies and other things, and then the ideas would be like, well, maybe I can get a gift for a family member, maybe I can use them to kind of cater my corporate event, or maybe I can get them to do some favors with some candy. So that was my thinking. So in a matter of only a couple of weeks, we picked up a couple hundred extra followers, and our sales on certain products that we had just pinned on the boards, we had an increase in sales. So it actually ended up working. It's a really neat tip. If you have any questions on how I did it, I'll put a little description under the video of how we did it. I'll recap it into some words and some text. But try to follow me with that and see if do a little experiment with your business. If you're online, if you're on Etsy, if you sell on eBay, if you're on Amazon or your own site, try to think outside the box. Create multiple boards that would be of interest for other products of your customer base, and see if that works for you. It did for us, and like I said, I just did a little experiment. It was a couple of weeks. It wasn't very long, but we picked up a couple hundred extra followers, and a couple hundred is not a bad number. It's not thousands and thousands. But again, it's only been up for a couple of weeks. I can get back with you guys in about 6 months and see if it's moved to several thousand. But the idea was just to think outside the box and really try to come up with some different ways to attract people to your Pinterest page. And of course, you can do this with Facebook. You can do it with Twitter. You can do it with all kinds of other social media, just by brainstorming and coming up with some different ways to attract people, men and women. Of course, for us, it was mainly women. But you can get men and women, you get college students, anyone of interest, figure out what their other interests might be or some other things that they could be interested in, and then get them to pick up your page. Well, I hope you liked that video. It's a really quick tip. I'm going to have a book that we're working on. I mentioned it in a couple of videos back. We're almost done with the book that we have. It's going to be all about selling online and marketing products and thinking outside the box when it comes to expanding your brand awareness and growing your brand for your products. We've been doing it for several years, and we're going to share that info with you. Thanks, guys.